Hello, and welcome to my very first ASMR video. I was going back and forth as to whether or not I was going to film this video because I'm a perfectionist, as I've said, and I started back working full time, so I don't have the kind of time that I've had previously to film and do other things. But yeah, I went back and forth about whether or not I wanted to do the video because I was like, I'm going to wait until after my next nail trip because I'm slipping, girl, I'm slipping. Or after I had my full face done or anything like that. And I just said, no. I told y'all in my first video, I gotta start where I am, use what I have, do what I can. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. I say that to myself all the time. I preach it to y'all all the time. That being said, I'm just gonna do it. So, here we are. And today, I will be reading to you, as I have been requested to do. I will be reading a book that is in the public domain, Romeo and Juliet, which I recently learned most Shakespeare. See, Shakespeare is in the public domain, meaning no one's going to sue me or give me a copyright infringement violation for reading it. So that's lovely. We'll start on the rear here, the back of the book, which says, she is only 14. I didn't know that. He only a few years older. Their families are bitter enemies, sworn to hatred. Yet Romeo and Juliet meet and fall passionately in love, defying their parents' wishes. They are secretly married, but their brief happiness is shattered by fate. This famous pair of star-crossed lovers lives forever in Shakespeare's haunting play. Now that is a very graceful way to say those kids were unattended and out of their minds, but here we are, you know. Shakespeare was never my strong suit. That being said, I will make mistakes. I will probably just butcher it, but it's okay. Do I want to read the To a Reader? To a Reader. Maybe. Let's just start with the story. The Tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. Act 1, Scene 1. Enter Samson and Gregory with swords and bucklers of the house of Capulet. Samson, Gregory, on my word, will not carry coals. Gregory, no, for then we shall be colliers. Samson, oh, I'm saying the names because it's a script, because it's a play. Okay, and we be in shoulder will draw. Gregory, while you live, draw your neck out of collar. Samson, I strike quickly, being moved. Gregory, but thou art not quickly moved to strike. Samson, a dog of the house of Montague moves me. Gregory, to move is to stir, and to be vigilant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou mustn't run. Thou runnest away. Who, child? Samson, a dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid or Montague's. Gregory, that shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall. Samson, 'tis true, and therefore women, being the weakest vessels, are ever the thrust to the wall. Therefore, I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his maid to the wall. Gregory. The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men. Samson. 'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids. I will cut off their heads. Gregory. The heads of the maids? Samson. Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in. Take it in, what sense thou wilt. Gregory. They must take it in, since that feel it. Samson. Me, they shall feel while I am able to stand, and 'tis known I am a pretty piece of flesh. Okay, Gregory. 'Tis well thou art not fish. If thou hadst been poor John, draw thy tool. Here comes two of the house of Montagues. Enter two other serving men, Abram and Balthazar. Samson. My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee. Gregory. How? Turn thy back and run? Samson. Fear me not. Gregory. No, Mary, I feel thee. I fear thee. Child. Samson. Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin. Gregory. I will frown as I pass by, and let them take it as they list. Samson. Nay, as they dare, I will bite my thumb at them, which is disgrace to them if they bear it. Abram. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Samson. I do bite my thumb, sir. Abram. Do you bite your thumb at us, sir? Samson. Aside to Gregory. Is the law of our side if I say aye? Gregory. Aside to Samson. No. Samson. No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir. Gregory. Do you quarrel, sir? Abram. Quarrel, sir? No, sir. Samson. But if you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you. Abram. No better. Samson. Well, sir. Enter Benvolio. Gregory. Aside to Samson. Say, better. Here comes one of my master's kinsmen. Samson. Yes, better, sir. Abram. You lie. Samson. Draw if you be men. Gregory. Remember thy swashing blow. They fight. Benvolio. Benvolio. Part, fools. Put up your swords. You know not what you do. Enter Tybalt. Tybalt. What art thou drawn among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio. Look upon thy death, Benvolio. I do, but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with peace. Tybalt. What drawn and takes of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward. They fight. Enter an officer and 3 or 4 citizens with clubs or partisans. Officer. Clubs, bills, and partisans. Strike, beat them down. Citizens. Down with the Capulets. Down with the Montagues. I am fighting to not say the TikTok sound that just reminded me of. Enter old Capulet in his gown and Lady Capulet. Capulet, what noise is this? Give me my sword, ho. Lady, A crutch, a crutch. Why call you for a sword? Capulet. My sword, I say. Old Montague is come and flourishes his blade in spite of me. Enter old Montague and Lady Montague. Montague. Thou villain Capulet, hold me not, let me go. Lady. Thou shalt not stir 1 foot to seek a foe. Bars. Enter Prince Escalus with his train. That pronunciation is going to change over time. Prince. Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel. Will they not hear? What ho, you mean, you men, you beast, that quench the fire of your Pernicus rage? With purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture, from those bloody hands, throw your misinterpreted weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by the old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans in hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, you, come you this afternoon, to know our father, our further, this is embarrassing, pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place, once more on pain of death, all men depart. Exit all but Montague, Lady Montague, and Benvolio. Montague. Who set this ancient quarrel new abroach? Benvolio. Completely skipped the line, just kidding. Speak, nephew. Were you by when it begun? Benvolio. Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours, close fighting heir. Was that a hiccup? Like, what even was that? I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, which as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds, who nothing hurt, withal hissed him in scorn. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and more, and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part. Lady. Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray. She only speaks in rhymes. I really rock with it. Benvolio. Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden widow of the east. A troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where underneath the grove of sycamore that westward ruleth from this city side, so early walking did I see your son. Toward him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of the wood, I measuring his affections by my own, which then most sought where most might not be found, being one too many by my weary self, pursued my humor, not pursuing his. and gladly shunned who gladly fled from me. Montague. Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds, more clouds, with his deep sighs. But all so soon as the all-cheering sun should in the farthest east begin to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed, away from lights, steals home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pens himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daylight out, and makes himself an artificial night, black and portentous. I don't know that one. New one. Must this humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove. Benvolio. My noble uncle, do you know the cause? Montague. I neither know it, nor can learn of him. Benvolio. Have you importuned him by any means? Montague. Both by myself and many other friends. But he, his own affections' counselor, is to himself, I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close, so far from sounding and discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm, ere he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the sun. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know. That was so many words to say. Bruh is low-key depressed. Wow. Enter Romeo. Benvolio. See where he comes. So please you step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied. Montague. I would thou wert so happy by thy stay, to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away. Exit Montague and Lady Montague. Why? Why?